Thank you. Guys, I've got an interview with what I consider probably two of the biggest fish in the entire place. Is you guys are with wargamer.net.
Yes.
And introduce yourselves to our hopefully expanding audience.
So, hello everyone, I'm Max Chuvalov. I'm product manager for World of Tanks.
And
Hello, I'm Randall King, or Randy King, I go by Randy, and I'm the executive producer on Master of Orion.
And I know everybody is looking at that. We will let this gentleman spiel momentarily, but first, I think, World of Tanks, World of Warplanes, World of Warships. Our cameraman here wants to know if you'll have submarines, but you got to tell us something about that. I mean, how that all happened and everything, if we can fit it in.
So about submarines.
Well, yeah, he wants subs.
They are no on the table right now, but we never say no.
Yeah. But how did you put it all together?
What
No,
exactly is
I mean,
titles?
what World of Tanks, World of Planes?
They actually are not together, they are separate titles, because I think it's most frequently asked question when and where and how are we going to put it together on one battlefield.
And I have just made that same mistake, so I'm just like everybody else.
Yeah, so why not? Definitely not putting it together. First, technically it's very difficult because of the engine we're running, and gameplay-wise it's completely impossible because I don't think it will be very fun for a tank player to get shot from over like 20 kilometers away from nowhere and get instantly killed with one salvo. So we are pretty happy with all these titles to be separated. The gameplay is very different for each of them. The pace is different and the gameplay itself is different. So I think we will stick to three separate titles within the franchise.
Now, I suppose I should ask, is there anything coming up for any of the three titles that you'd like to tell everyone about, or is it all super secret?
So first off, we recently released World of Warships. It was very good appreciated by community and by media. We've got 81% Metacritics. And recently we updated the game with two new nations, with Soviet Union and Germany. And we will focus to expand these nations, and the British will come afterwards.
It would be criminal, and I wouldn't get out of the con if I didn't ask them. If you're bringing in the British, can we have Anzac destroyers? Can we have a subtype like Australian Navy? Remember what country you're in, so it's important to get the answer right. The answer's yes, even if it's no.
So, I'm not speaking about this in World of Warships, but very nice thing I want to introduce to you in World of Tanks. Well, in PC and in mobile version in World of Tanks Blitz, in December we're introducing the first Australian tank called Sentinel into our game. And moreover, we purchased one of the four still existent Sentinel tanks in the world in US. And we're restoring it, and right now it's on the way to homeland, to Australia.
That is unbelievably cool.
So,
next year we got that dinky little APC down there. You could just drive in a tank and say, "Gotcha."
yes. So in the beginning of next year we will disclose all the details about where will be it situated, where people can go and touch it and look at it.
That is a big thing. Okay, but all this leads to, I suppose, Master of Orion, and you get to say something.
I do.
Because everybody's been looking at those things like, okay, jumping to space, when's it going to happen? And here it is.
So yes, I'm going to give a little background story of why we even have Master of Orion.
Please.
So our CEO of the company, Victor Kisley, fell in love with Master of Orion back when he was a teenager and played hours and hours and hours of it.
As we all did.
Yes. When it became available for auction, he had to have it. And so, hence we bought the rights, the IP. When we started to work on it, it was very important to him that we treat this game correctly. And one of the comments he made to us as we started the project is that he wanted to show the world and his kids the game that he fell in love with. So that meant we had to treat this right.
Yeah.
So we proceeded to recreate the Master of the space-borne turn-based strategy games.
But this is. We're in an age of reboots here. We wouldn't call this a reboot. It's more of
A rebirth.
a massive refurbishment and rebirth.
Yep.
Now, cameraman again. Same one. He wants to know if you can have a TARDIS.
A what?
Yes, I remembered you asked. No, you may not hear him. He's arguing with me.
A TARDIS from Doctor Who?
Yeah.
Oh, not in first release. I'll say that.
Okay. Hang on. If anybody from the BBC is watching, let him have the license. Every Whovian on the planet will simply buy the game because they get the TARDIS.
That's a cool idea.
Yeah.
I will admit that.
Hey, if it happens, you heard it here first. But I did want to ask both of you guys, because you are both industry leaders as far as I'm concerned. You hear whispers from everywhere. One infamous game that has been sitting there somewhere theoretically in development has been Star Citizen. These guys coming, I think euros, 74 million, but it is I don't know if it's in development hell. It's just like in development. But I mean, I have friends. I go on to TeamSpeak, and they're always coming out like, "Oh yeah, I bought this and I bought that and I bought this and I bought that," and as I keep telling them, guys, you bought an email. It's like, yes, I've got that. You've got some pixels. You don't actually have a game. And all this is leading into, when do you think the actual release date will be? Because for me, I figure about 5 years down the track, we'll get a demo. What do you guys reckon?
I'm going to be in big trouble if I say anything with respect to that. I will say that when I first saw it, I was thrilled about what this could be, and so my hopes are going down. And so I don't know when it's going to come out.
Find anybody that does, and they'll be, you find someone who can predict the next grand final.
I'm infatuated with the idea. Just give me the game.
Yeah. Are you using that to spur you into getting this off the ground?
Oh, maybe.
I mean, it's like, well, we beat those guys. Yeah.
Well, I think we're driving ourselves to get it out, because there is a passion for this game. Everybody that's working on this game has either had influence from the original games themselves, or played hours and hours and hours of it because they're on the game itself. So everyone has a passion for it who's playing on it. I could tell a little bit more history if you want to hear it.
Well, first, before we lose it, I want to find, because you were sitting there going, I'm not saying anything. No. Have you got a prediction for when you think Star Citizen will actually be out there and playable?
So my basic attitude to all this game development process is it's better to launch a polished product than launch something crappy.
Yeah.
So, but you should find the balance. I really hope it will come somewhere in 2016, at least in some testing stage for maybe limited amount of people. So I'm enthusiastic.
Some background to Master of Orion.
So when we first bought the rights to the game, there was a small little studio in Argentina named NGD who had a love for the original game. Most of the people at that studio either played turn-based games or played the original and loved the original. So what they did was they created a prototype and approached us and sold us the idea of them producing the game. And their prototype was so impressive, and their drive and passion and hunger was so impressive that it definitely made us look at them and consider them strongly. And one thing that Victor said is that they remind him of who they used to be, wargaming itself. And so we chose them. It just felt right, and they've been doing a beautiful job at it.
That reminds me of, you ever play Sid Meier's Antium?
Yes, I have.
Yeah, and that was a bunch of guys in the lounge room. They're going, we really like Gettysburg, and they put together Sid Meier's Antium, and Sid Meier's going, good job, guys. Put a package around that, have some money, all right.
Yep.
What do you reckon?
That brings up something I want to talk about. WGLabs. Have you heard about WGLabs?
Elucidate.
Okay. So you'll see this little icon right here. That represents a new division that we created within Wargaming called WGLabs. And the main focus of that division is to reach out to garage studios, indie studios, the small developers, for us to help them, to give assistance. Now, there'll be a process for that. We have a website in which they can actually go and fill out an application, submit a prototype, and send it to us.
Could you rattle that off for the camera?
That's what I'm doing right now.
No, I mean the actual address.
Oh, what is the address?
WGLabs.com. WGLabs.com.
WGLabs.com.
Okay.
And so you fill it out, send in the prototype with it, and it'll go through a review process. If it is accepted, then we will reach out and offer our services wherever they can be used. Publishing, assistance, design help. We're there, and the reason for it is there's a lot of talent out there. There's a lot of new ideas, and this company, including Victor, wants to bring them to life. This is the first project that is going to be under that brand.
Okay.
We want more to come.
If you guys want to, go to our government and say, hey guys, we'd like to do some business, but we need better internet, fix it. Maybe they'll listen to you because they're not listening to us.
Yeah, it becomes the same problems.
Yeah.
Like in World of Tanks, it's a very ping-sensitive game, and we know that in Australia, at least several times a year, it breaks completely because we've got server in Singapore.
Ah, okay.
So yeah, we know about the problem, and we try to cooperate with Telstra Telecom to have direct broadband for our games. So it helps, but still several times a year it definitely breaks. Some sharks are eating the cable, or
Sharks, spiders, drop bears.
Malaysian.
The cameraman is getting pushy and actually wants to be involved.
No, I just thought of a question while we were standing there. You say that Master of Orion is a rebirth of an older game. So if it's successful enough, will you guys make a sequel where you do put your own mark onto the game?
Well, I will say that modding is on the backlog as a possibility.
Okay then.
All right.
Sorry, just
Get back to the camera, monkey.
But Wargaming is very famous for listening to their customers. And we pay attention as best as we can to what we're getting back from our players and our customers. And one thing that we did when we first started this game is we went into the forums and stripped out everything and said, okay, where are the negatives, where are the positives, what they liked, what they didn't like. And that influenced what we did within the game. We will continue to do that going forward, because who really owns what we're doing? Who is it? The customer. We are there for the customer. If they don't like what we're doing, we shut our doors.
Yeah.
So we're there for the customers, and we will listen.
What was your big hyper secret announcement that was going to be made here exclusively to media?
So, for example, for Master of Orion, we've announced that we are going to offer a collector's edition. So the collector's edition will contain Master of Orion 1, 2, and 3 for free. It will contain the digital art book showing the art progression. It will contain the soundtrack and score of the game. It will contain your own evil human race. So you get a special race within the game. They're called the Terran Khanates. It will contain pixel ships that you can swap out in-game and play with the pixel ships. So a retro look. And last but not least, it will offer you early access to the game. So with that, we are not going to be doing an open beta. We're doing a closed beta only. But if you buy the collector's edition, you get to participate in the closed beta.
I was thinking of the word pleasure, but no, eye-opening, more informative than I had any expectation, and slightly annoying because we can only show that. No gameplay, tough.
I'll show it to you after we're done.
Okay, that I think we could all put up with that. And to the rest of you, let's wave goodbye.
A photo anywhere within our booth. The more creative, the better. Chuck it up on your Facebook